Is it okay?
Yeah, we're ready.
Flip. Okay. I have this for you. It's just you've seen this before, right?
Basically.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a red pen.
But I thought no red ink.
Yeah. No, I don't think you understand what no red ink actually is. What's up, Reese? Can you what? Yeah. All right.
Okay. And I'm assuming, just at any time, preferably when I'm not looking great.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really embarrassing. Okay. I don't have to press anything?
Nope.
Okay. Oh, you saw that. Oh, it's embarrassing. Okay. Howdy, y'all. I'm Stephen Rorick. I'm going to be your guest teacher for today. And today we're going to be talking about growth versus fixed mindset. Before we get started, does anyone know what a growth or fixed mindset is? I want to take a shot at it. Blair.
I think growth mindset obviously is basically it's a mindset where you significantly want to improve, where you see something as a challenge that you could overcome and that you can do this. And a fixed mindset is basically, at least I think of a fixed mindset is something that you just that you're not sure about, that you are. It's basically just like uncertainty.
Air high five, Blair. Bam. Nice job. Okay. Before we get more into it, I'm just going to lay down our expectations. To start, we're going to do some anticipation statements. Let's see where we stand on some, ideas, concepts. Next, we'll get into actually what a growth versus a fixed mindset actually is. We'll get into some objective statements, and then we have a related activity or a demonstration. To start, anticipation statements. So to get the blood flowing, to get our morning started, I'm going to ask you to stand. So I'm going to read a statement. For example, if it says, don't look at that one yet. I like cats over dogs. And if you agree, you're going to stand. So if you like cats over dogs, stand. Megan, you don't have to stand because, just raise, pop that hand up. Okay, Reese is the only one. Okay, but you get the idea. So to start, you're either good at something or you're not. Agree if you stand up, or stand up if you agree. Okay, you're either good at something or you're not. Okay. Next statement. If you don't improve right away, you get frustrated and start to criticize oneself. Agree if you stand up. Stand up if you agree. Okay, wow. Okay, plop on down. When you can't do something, you give up and try something else. Agree. Stand up if you agree. When you can't do something, you give up and try something else. Okay. Plop on down. Failure means it's time to give up. Stand up if you agree. Okay. Okay. If I don't try new or difficult things, then I won't fail. Agree. Stand up if you agree. I'm sorry. Stand up if you agree. Okay. Now, what you didn't know is that all of these statements that we just read were a fixed mindset, which is okay. I have a fixed mindset as well. And so we're going to talk about today how we can improve on our way of thinking and our own mindsets in the classroom and just in your personal lives. So let's talk about a growth versus a fixed mindset. So when talking about a growth mindset, there's a pretty simple formula that you can use to just improve your daily life. And it's practice plus study plus grit plus effort equals growth and improvement. So if you take the time to actually practice, to study, to continuously repeat in something that you might not be good at, then you can get better, which is where the improvement piece comes in. And then if you put in the grit and the effort, the actual time, the hard work necessary to actually get somewhere, then that's where the growth piece comes in. So if you just remember that formula and apply it to your daily lives, or when you're doing homework, or maybe if you play a sport, then you're going to see growth and improvement, but it takes time. A growth mindset is the perspective and ability to realize that you have the capacity to change, improve, and better oneself. So necessarily, when thinking about a growth mindset, it's your ability to improve. So if you think about if you take on a task and you fail right away and you're not going to try it again, that's a fixed mindset because you're staying in that one position and you have a mindset of failure. What a growth mindset teaches you is that you want to keep on moving forward and to actually get good at things. Because if you use practice and study, grit and effort, you'll improve and then grow as a person. And obviously, this is a good mindset to have because it allows for students to learn in the classroom and grow over a significant period of time. Now, a fixed mindset, this is automatically when, as soon as we come into existence, our default perspective, right? A fixed mindset is the perspective that we are born and do not have the ability to change or improve given time or practice. And you may not even know that you have this default perspective until you actually put it into practice. And sometimes, some scenarios you have a growth mindset because you've learned and you've had those personal life experiences. But this is a bad fixed mindset because it's you giving up and not actually believing in yourself and taking the ability to take that one extra step forward to actually, learning something and to trying something new. So would you rather have a growth or a fixed mindset? Raise your hand for growth. Okay, cool beans. So now we're just going to play like a little game, growth or fixed. So let's say raise your hand if you think it's a growth mindset. Don't do anything if you think it's fixed. So our first statement, failure is an opportunity to grow. Raise your hand if you think it's growth. Yeah, okay. Big growth mindset, but why? Can anyone explain why? Blair.
Failure can basically teach us that, it can teach us new things. It can basically teach us what we haven't understood yet. And basically, now that we have understood why we failed at something, we can use that knowledge that next time to undo that error and basically continue on with that same repetition and keep on going.
Exactly. Good job, Blair. Failure gives us that opportunity to grow. I know as kids, as students, whenever we get into a relationship and it fails, or you get a test back and there's an F, a C, or a D, or just something doesn't go your way in life, that failure, we believe it's a setback. But if you change your perspective and your mindset about it, you can use it to propel yourself forward in life. So if you take that test and I get a test back and it's an F, right? And the thing I could do is, I'm going to accept this bad grade. There's nothing I could do about it. But if you take the initiative on that failure and say, hey, I'm going to practice and study harder the next time, that way I can get the A and raise my grade. Or you take the initiative to go talk to your teacher and say, hey, is there any way I could retake this test or get extra credit or actually improve on where you were? Then you have a growth mindset and you're going to get way farther if you use failure as an opportunity to grow. So this is definitely a growth mindset. Next up, I can learn to do anything I want. Raise your hand if you think it's growth. Yes, it's growth. Okay. So a lot of us think, let's say I'm really bad at sports and it's because I have this tendon thing with my foot. It's a whole thing. But if I actually take the initiative to try, in elementary school, I did some track and field, gave up a little while afterwards because I didn't think I would get farther with my, whole tendon issue. But if I actually took the time to learn, to practice, then I would have probably gone farther with my track and field career, maybe, given years' time. And then in high school, I did more running, and I eventually learned that this tendon wasn't stopping me. It was actually what I believed that I couldn't learn that actually was. So if you believe that you can learn to do anything you want, you actually can. It's just all up here. It's a mind game that you have to play with yourself to learn, to do what you want. Any of us can learn to do anything. The only factor is how much time it takes, how much work you put in, and how much effort. Jack.
I can learn to teleport.
Maybe. It would just take a lot of time, just based on the limitation of technology.
Are you saying that I don't have to transfer?
Moving on. Okay. Failure is the limit of my abilities. Raise your hand if you think it's growth. Okay. Nice. We're getting the hang of this. Failure is the limit of my abilities. If you believe that failure is your capstone, that when you fail, that's the only place you can reach, that will be the only place you can reach. If you believe that, let's see, I'm going to draw a little demonstration. We're at Shadow Mountain, so here's your mountain, right? If you believe failure is right here, that it's your peak, how are you ever going to pass that? You can't. If you believe that's your peak,